In this video I've just come back from Cyprus and I found this waiting for me. What on earth is it? Well, let's find out. Roll titles. Well, hi YouTube, Brian James at Micro Four Thirds guy, and back again. Just got back from Cyprus. I'm doing two videos here. You might have seen the other video. If you haven't, there's another video to see. If you have seen it, then this is the one I told you about in the other video. You get the drift. But I got back about 5 AM this morning. I'm rather tired at the moment. As I say in Cyprus, kouros menos. Polykouros menos. Very, very tired. And it was a long flight and delayed for all sorts of reasons. But I got back about 5:30 this morning, and there was this big box waiting for me. Now, I actually expected there was a big box going to be waiting for me, because this is a sponsored video, and this is sponsored by my wonderful friends at Zhiyun, who I've done all sorts of checks on lights and things for in the past, and also a gimbal that I actually bought myself. But I'm so impressed with it that whenever I say anything about Zhiyun, I always tell them about it. But I'm going to open this box up, have a quick look inside and see what's in it, and see what they've done. I have an idea what it is, but they said I'm going to have fun with it. So let's see. So there you are, hopefully you can see this. I'm going to get my keys. I've got no idea what this is. I'm presuming it's a light. And I've looked on Zhiyun's website recently. I got some little pre-notice about what they're bringing out product-wise. They've got some good stuff. So I've got an idea what this might be. But they said it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be something I'm likely to use. A CF100, whatever that. A stick light combo. Cinepia CF100. That should be fun. Let's have a little look at this. Can you see that properly? I'll move further up this way. A bit of sticky tape on there. I'm going to do a very quick unboxing on this. I'm not going to spend time on it. That's good. Nice little bag. Zhiyun are very good for doing bags and things. So let's undo the bag. What have we got here? We've got another little bag. No, this little bag is, by the looks of things, a diffuser. And what do we have? Well, barn doors, reflective barn doors. That's a bit neat now. And there we are. Should be able to see some light on that one. So obviously it's on 20%. We can wind this up. You should be able to see some light across the box now. That's on now 100%. I'm out at the middle of the day, so you've got a fair bit of light coming off that. Let's turn that down a bit, and it's set to 5500 Kelvin, and let's turn it off. Press the button to turn it off. Comes up with a little display in the back, Cinepia, and that's it off. So I'm going to go back home. I'm going to charge this up, and I may go out into the back garden, because of course with this being battery operated, I can do this outside. Let's put it into its case. Lots of cooling holes, by the way, in there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cooling fans on the back. So 6 cooling fans. I don't know what the power of this is. So we'll have to, well, it's obviously 100 watt, I guess, since it's a CF100 on there. So that makes it quite a powerful little light. Nice rubberized little grip on there. Cooling vents down either side. As I say, 6 cooling fans on the back. Usual construction from Zhiyun. It's plastic, yes, but it's a good quality plastic. Really like the white finish on it. I love the barn doors. I think they're great. So let's go and charge this up, and let's go and do a photo session and see what we can do when we come back. Well, I finally got back inside, and I've had a bit of a play with this. I'll just get it up here. This is interesting. I've had a bit of play with it. This is the Cinepia CF100, I should say, the CF100. And if you remember, I've also reviewed another Cinepia light from Zhiyun, which there's a link up there, which is a CX100. And I was really impressed with that. It was one of the first lights that they asked me to try. Now, just to put this into perspective, this video is being sponsored by Zhiyun, and they've given me this light to try for free, and I'm really impressed with it. I've had a bit of time to play with it. The Cinepia range is the budget end of the Zhiyun lights, but don't let that put you off. Budget doesn't mean to say that it's cheap. It just means to say that it's not quite so feature-packed as maybe some of its brethren. There is another version of this one, which has been out for a little while, the 5-ray F100. On the surface of things, they're very, very similar, but except the F100, by the time you get these discounts, is about twice the price of this one. It comes with several different little changes. But the interesting thing is, some of the specifications on this Cinepia CF100 actually make it a better light than its more expensive forebear. So let's just have a little look into this light and see what we've got. Well, first of all, it's a 100-watt light stick. It's, let's see, it's 2.1 pounds, about 945 grams, so about the same sort of weight as a DSLR. So it's not ungainly to carry. You can easily carry it around one hand, and if you're using it by the grip part, you can direct the light. It's almost like playing with a cricket bat or a tennis bat. It's great. 19.8 inches, I'm having to read the specs as usual, 19.8 inches long, 1.8 inches by 1.9 inches in size. Now, what I didn't show you before, I did show you about these barn doors as I was doing the unpack. What I didn't show you about these barn doors is that they very easily unclip from the light. So if you don't want them on, it's nice and tight, but if you don't want them on, just come off and you've got the light itself. So I'll leave the barn doors off to one side. It uses the cooling from the Dynavolt cooling, which has been very, very, very well implemented by Zhiyun, and there's 6 fans on the back, cooling vents down the sides. Why is cooling important? Well, obviously you've got 324 LEDs behind there, 324 pieces of LED behind there, and they will get hot. Now, first of all, you've obviously got a health and safety point of view when lights get hot, so we don't want to be having that, especially beside curtains and things like that in the background. But perhaps just as equally important is the fact that when equipment like this starts to get hot, especially LEDs, the lifespan of those LEDs drops considerably. So by having really good cooling, it means that the light itself will have a much, much longer service life. You spend a lot of money on these sort of things, so you want the best quality that you can. You want them to last as long as possible. That's what the cooling's doing on here, and the Dynavolt system really does work. I ran it a little bit earlier. I've actually, since you saw me doing the unbox, I've flattened the battery twice. I've actually flattened the battery twice through playing around with it. And even when it's been on for quite a while, this never gets more than touch warm. It's just nice. You get a little bit of breeze at the back, but the fans are almost silent, and it's just very, very efficient. The F100, which is considerably more expensive, almost double the price by the time you take the discounts and things into light. And this one actually outperforms on a few things. I'll flick down the list, because it actually is a comparison to this and the 5-ray, the 5-ray F100. I knew I'd get it wrong. Always do. Anyway, 945 grams in weight. The 5-ray is 950. So 5 whole grams difference in weight. Don't think it makes a great deal of difference. Interesting though, the CCT peak illuminance, the peak light output on this one at 1 meter is 1,370 lux, I should say. On the 5-ray one, it's only 1,200 lux at 1 meter. It's considerably brighter. Maximum peak illuminance on this one is 2610 lux at 1 meter. That's a bright light. Where it's only 2300 on the 5-ray F100. Again, the more expensive light, slightly lesser performance. On the CRI point of view, CRI of equal to or greater than 96, and the TLCI is the colour accuracy. TLCI on this one is equal to or greater than 98. On the 5-ray, it is 97. So again, it's outperforming it. Are you going to notice it in real life? No, you're not. No, you're not going to notice it, but it's just nice to know that if you buy something, it's got really good specifications on it. So a really fantastic little light on this one. Now it's got a built-in battery. The battery connector on this one is like on the other Zhiyun lights, a USB-C, and you didn't see in the box before, but there is a USB-C cable comes supplied with it, along with the diffuser, along with the little bag which came with it, and along with the barn doors on there. There's also provision for a DC input on here with the standard sort of DC power supply input. That's available from third-party vendors, and I think Zhiyun also do them themselves, but that comes as an extra. But the other thing with this is the USB-C. You can charge the battery internally from USB-C source, not easy to say, and that's the PD port type. So if you've got a PD charger, high power charger, that will do it there. But you can also run it off this. So if you are actually using a 100 watt PD charger to be able to run it, you can run this off that charger and illuminate the light. Now the clever thing on this one as well is, of course, most of those high power chargers are only about 65 watts. So what happens if you plug a 100 watt bulb in like this? Is it going to blow your charger? Well, on this one, no, it senses that it's not able to get the power, and it takes itself down to half its power, so it becomes a 50 watt light if you're running it on a smaller charger, which is really good. The other thing on this is the controls on the back. Now I'll do a quick zoom in on this one, you'll be able to see it, but really nice little display, small display, but white lettering and a black background, really clear, really nice. Power switch in the center I'll come back to in a second, but the normal sort of knurled thumb ring, which will allow you to change the intensity of luminance and white balance and things, but also a four-way, that acts as a four-way joystick, and that allows you to change all the modes. Did say come back to the main switch on this. The main switch on some of the other ones, for instance the CX100, I criticised at the time, it's a short press followed by a long press, and it will take up whatever setting the light was on the last time it was used. Now, this has been pointed out by some other people on other channels, but if you use that into hold luggage, because of course, although it's a lithium battery, it's a sealed into unit, so you can put this on the hold luggage. But on the other one, it was very easy to press that in and accidentally put the light on. Now, if you got that into hold baggage, all the cooling ducts are going to be covered, it's going to overheat, it puts a huge amount of heat, and it's going to cause a serious problem. Not a good idea. This one I really like. To switch this one on, you just press and hold until you see the writing come up in the little screen, and it'll tell you just to turn the wheel. Once you turn the wheel, it'll come on, and there we are, the light is on. To switch it off, just press and hold. Very good little unit. And one of the good things about this compared to a lot of the tube type lights on this, the tube lights take the whole thing, that's great, until you want to hold it and move it around. And then your hand is covering some of the light output, so it alters your exposure. On this one, you've got a nice rubber gripped handle. It's also where the battery is, and it allows you to change whatever you want to do. So if you've got somebody as an assistant and you're getting to do lighting for you and move around, they're not blocking any of the light out. You're getting the maximum amount of light out of this. There is also a 1/4 inch 20 joint on the bottom. So if you want to put this onto a tripod or onto a lighting stand, very simple to do, and that's ideal, because one of the things for me on this, I'm not looking to this for the fancy videography sort of side of things. I'm looking towards this as being a fantastic live stream and blogging light, because put this onto a light stand, the size of it is tiny. It really is small, although quite high. If you have it this way up, it takes next to no floor space. The lighting stand takes more, and if you've got a fairly inexpensive lighting stand, all your weight is over the centre. It's nothing sort of pulling the stand over to knock it over, so it's very stable. So this will make an excellent vlogging light and also a live streaming light. So I'm really interested to see how this is coming up. The barn doors will go all the way back 270 degrees movement on them. So if you don't want the barn door to have any effect on it, just push them back out the way. I probably will never take the barn doors off now. I just don't need to. All the cooling vans are totally clear in the back with them on. But for storage, the barn doors will close totally over the front, gives protection to the light, and you don't need to find anywhere to store it. Now, one of the things I have noticed when I've been reviewing these products in the past from Zhiyun is if they say it lasts 1 hour and 5 minutes or something, every time I've tested it, it lasts 1 hour and 5 minutes. So I'm going to give you the figures on this. I haven't actually tried these out, but I have no doubt that these will be about right. So at 6500 degrees Kelvin, because it will go from 2700 all the way up to 6500, which is the very white light, at 6500 degrees Kelvin, at 20%, it will last for 5 hours and 34 minutes, which is incredible. It's long enough for any assignment. At 50%, 2 hours and 27. At 100% output with this on maximum on 6500 degrees Kelvin, lasts an amazing 1 hour and 6 minutes. So very comparable to actually to the time of the CX100. So if you compare the two together, you've got a great little setup. If you set it up to 4300 degrees Kelvin, which is round about where tungsten lights are, then obviously it's using more light bulbs, and at 100% that goes down to 31 minutes. So you're effectively just about halving the time. So I'm guessing at 20% you'll probably be talking somewhere around about 2.5 hours. Now what I haven't told you about this is it's not just a light. Like the other lights, like the CX, it also will have variable colour temperature, which I did just mention. But not only that, this has got a full HSI connection onto here. If you do HSI, hue, saturation and intensity, and that's available on the back, so you can get basically a full RCD setup from this, any colour you like at various intensities on it, and it's very, very easy to do. It's one press of the button gets you into different modes. The other thing though as well, it does have all the features that the other ones have insofar as effect lighting. So what else could this be used for? Well, obviously I've already mentioned about the cinematographic sort of things. Very, very useful. And if used in conjunction with the other lights in the Zhiyun range, you've got some really good lighting effects that you can use for storytelling. So this one in conjunction with my CX100 or my Olympus X60, I think is going to be a really good setup for me doing my live streaming and my vlogging. It doesn't have Bluetooth, which means it doesn't have the mesh connectivity of some of the other lights in the range, like the Firmware AM20C that I've reviewed up there, and also the Olympus X60, which I reviewed up there. They have the ability to go into the mesh together. Also the B200, I forgot about the B200. B200 has the mesh connectivity as well. So you can control everything from a mobile phone or from a tablet. This doesn't have it. Now obviously the CX100 doesn't have it either, so it's the Cinepia range, don't have the Bluetooth connectivity. What a shame. Is it going to be a deal breaker? Not at all. But it does make it really good if you have a lighting set up to switch the whole lot on at once, switch it off at once, and do colour changes as you want to be able to save scenes. So if you do get the chance to put that into one of your, either the F100 or the CF100 as a Mark II version Zhiyun, that would be really interesting. But it's not going to stop me from buying it. Now I did say a little bit earlier that there is a special on this one. If you use the link below, there's a couple of affiliate links below which take you to Zhiyun in whichever country you're in. If you use those, first of all, thank you, because you're actually helping the channel, because it's an affiliate link, and that helps us get a little bit of assistance on running the channel. It doesn't cost you a penny more. In actual fact, by using the codes associated with that in the link below, it saves you money. But not only that, because this is being launched at midnight, it's almost midnight now, I'm rushing to put this video together. Because this is being launched at midnight tonight on the 10th of, first thing on the 10th of September, 2024, this is being launched. For the next few days there is a special discount of 5% as well as other discounts, which if you buy it from there you can claim up. Now that makes this little thing about half the price, maybe less than half the price of its big brother, the F100, which some of the specs aren't quite as good. The F100 have a little bit better build quality, I do admit it is a better light than that, but I don't think you necessarily are getting a huge jump, but for a considerable saving, you got this one. This thing will be my new take abroad light though, I think. It's small enough to fit in the hand baggage case. That's really important. At less than 1 kilogram, it doesn't weigh too much. It's great. The safety of that switch, I think, is just fabulous, and that makes me really confident about it. And the operating time means that I'm not going to be sitting there trying to charge it up all the time, just to be able to use it for a quick video. All the advantages on this, I'm really impressed with it. So yes, although I got this one to try for free, there's a good chance I could be buying myself another one to match it, because I think a matching pair of these for a video setup would actually be fabulous. You'd have a really good lighting setup, and of course you've got the little diffuser which fits on just over the top of the barn doors, and that's going to give you even softer lighting, even better spread of lighting, and I think it's going to be really good. My overall impression, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, whatever you want to put it. I don't think there's really anything I can complain about. As I say, there was one little thing about the Bluetooth connectivity, but you would have to spend more money. And I don't think that I would necessarily have justified the difference in it. Anyway, till the next time, keep on taking your camera out, keep on using your lighting to enjoy it, and look after yourselves. See you. Bye-bye.